YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm trying out a new light, which y'all can't see, but I hope it works well for better lighting for this video. My husband got it for me for my birthday that's coming up on Saturday. In today's video, this is going to be another potty training update type video. I know most of you would prefer to see try-ons and diaper reviews, but this is just where we're at currently, and I want to give an update. Let me turn on some air. It's hot in here. Sorry if it's loud. My central air is broken and hasn't yet been repaired, so I'm using an air unit, which is very loud. But where we're at, I told y'all about the trouble we had with getting a referral. His doctor had referred him to this place, and they told me that they did not take children over 5, and my child is now 6. Well, then they told us that they were connected to this other place, and this other place told us that they did take children that are over 6. But his doctor said that they talked to her and that they did not take children over 6, that this is the same clinic and that they would not take children over 6. But then I talked to them and they told me that these are 2 separate clinics, and I got an email and we got the evaluation going, but then we needed the referral from her, and she wouldn't give the referral because she claims that she talked to them, and they said that they're not over 6 and that they're connected, and they were telling me that they're not connected, and so we're not getting into that place. But, well, I called her up and asked her again about this. She's still telling me that they're trying to get us to switch over to this clinic, and they're not telling us, but they're trying to transfer him, which I don't believe. I don't know why this doctor is lying to me, because I don't think that's what's going on. And because they're telling me that the 2 clinics are not connected and they do take children, which means that I don't know why my child's doctor has lied to me, or if they lied to her, or who's lying to who, or what's going on as far as that. But good news is I talked to her about occupational therapy, and she was against sending a referral to help with potty training, because I've talked with moms of autistic kids who have struggled to potty at 6, 7 years old, even some up to 10, 11 years old, and some of them said that they went to apotherapy, which we have new apotherapy in town. I haven't yet went and talked to them, but I've heard that occupational therapy can help with body awareness, so I wanted to get my child into occupational therapy. Well, he's getting occupational therapy at school, but it's just for handwriting and not really for a bathroom routine. He did have a paraprofessional that was helping him last year with a bathroom routine, but they let her go and she's now at another school, and I don't know how that's going to work out. School's starting tomorrow. But I wanted to try occupational therapy and see if it would help. And at first his doctor was saying, well, we already sent the referral for school. And I'm like, well, he had a paraprofessional with him at school last year, and he's still having trouble. He went a whole year of school and he's still having trouble. He needs help outside of home. I mean, outside of school. He needs help at home during the summer. Well, I tried to get him into this during the summer, and she gave me trouble about the referral. I'm like, well, there's no help for my child. I don't know what to do, and you're not willing to let me try any extra help. Finally, she sends the referral over, and then we go to speech therapy over the summer at the gym, and I asked about the OT, and yeah, we found out the referral and everything. And then the lady who was going to do the OT therapy was going to be on vacation for, I think it was 2 weeks. So they're telling me the next week, you can't make an appointment because she won't be back for 2 weeks. And then the next week, they're like, well, wait till the next week. And so we finally got into this other day, which is, that was on Monday, and school starts on Thursday. So 3 days before school starts, we finally get into this, when I wanted to get help back at the beginning of summer break. But this is the system. The system basically fails kids when the parents are asking for help, and the doctors and everything don't want to give referrals, and this is where you end up. And so she finally, I've already told y'all that she finally got the referral. Okay, he finally got into this session on Monday. Okay, I'll tell y'all about how the session went, in case any parents are out here and you're having trouble and you're thinking about occupational therapy. Here's a breakdown. I'll try to explain, go over what happens during this therapy session. So first, what we did was just got a review over like his health conditions, like hearing loss, surgeries that he's had. We were asked questions like, does he bathe himself? Do you still help him with that? Does he eat with a fork? Does he eat with a spoon? Is he good at that? Can he dress himself? All the basic needs stuff that, yes, he is able to do. Can he tie shoes, or does he still wear Velcro? Which they said it's normal for a 6-year-old to still wear Velcro shoes, because most 6-year-olds don't know how to tie their shoes yet. So we got basically all these questions. We decided that mainly he is on the level of us knowing what a 6-year-old should know. From there, she wanted him to sit in a chair alone to see how long his attention span, and he's very clingy to me, so that upset him, and he pitched a little fit, and I went to comfort him like I always do, and she removes my hand away from him and his hands away from me. And so I just sit there and wait a moment for him to cool down, and then he sits up, and she said that she was calculating his attention span to be 20 seconds, and she wants it to be at 2 minutes. So, and from there, so ball back and forth to see how well his, I guess, reflexes are. And he did pretty good with catching the ball. I think that was also hand-eye coordination. I guess seeing if all these things works for him to understand when he needs to go potty. There she had him like touch his head, his nose, and he was just being really silly, like in front of his eyes, and doing like this when he knows where his nose is. He's been knowing that since he was a year old, or before he was a year old. I have a video of him saying his head and his nose. This is very hot in here. It's hot in here. This new light is kind of giving me a headache. It's been like fake fall for the past 2 days, and today was back up to 80-something degrees, but it wasn't as hot, so I turned off the air conditioner that's in this room, and it's just now come back on. It's not cool enough yet. But where was I? I was explaining about the head-eye coordination. We did things like that to see how his coordination is. And then from there, we took a little tour of the gym and walked into the bathroom, and she flushed the toilet to see if that bothered him. And it didn't bother him, although he says he don't like loud toilet flushing. And then she turned on the sink and showed him the water, and then we went to a kids club room, and they have a private bathroom in there, and she had him wash his hands and sit up on the toilet, not with his pants down or anything, but his fully clothed. his pants pulled up. And then he stood on the stool and he washed his hands, and then let's talk some more about getting on a schedule, like writing down every time he pees or has a bowel movement, and writing down every time he eats, every time he has any liquid, and then the time that he peed, so that we can figure out a time schedule, which is basically what I've been already doing. I haven't attempted until now to write it down, but it's basically what we already been doing. And he doesn't care that he's wet. He pees, and I catch him, and then we take him to the toilet. We're gonna see how this goes. Writing down every time school's starting up. I won't know every time that he went at school. That's why I wanted to start this journey during the summertime. It's frustrating that doctors, they want parents to be involved. If a parent is not involved, then they'll suspect something's wrong. But then when a parent tries to be involved, they don't listen to the parent. It is a very frustrating journey when you're begging for help and no one is helping you. And I feel like I'm being constantly judged, and parents judge others unless the child has some condition that makes them unable to go, and we don't know if he has any learning delays. We're trying to figure that out. We're still on a 2-year wait list to test for autism or any other learning disabilities. That's where we're at. So if you're thinking about occupational therapy, basically what they'll do is test your child's hand-eye coordination, ask them some questions, play ball, take them to the bathroom, show them around, get on a potty training schedule. Oh, and they had him go up and down steps to see if he was able to do that. But testing reflexes, asking him if he knows that he's wet and dry, things like that. I know these are things that I could do at home, and I have tried to do all of this at home, but sometimes it's better to have help, because a child, sometimes they're comfortable with their parent and they'll listen more for a stranger. So, and my child seems to be like that. He's one of these who does better. Like, I've thought about homeschooling, but homeschooling he wouldn't learn from me because he does better with a teacher. And I'm hoping that with this he'll do better listening to what she's got to say, and maybe she can give us some tips, and I'll finally have a potty trained child. Now, I'm not trying to stop him from potty training just to keep this channel going. I'll think of something to do here on this channel. Try-ons, the diaper, adult diapers. But that's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna hop off here.